I'm Sarah, and I'm a sophomore psychology major.
My name is Marcos, and I swim.
Meredith, senior, volleyball.
Kelsey Rich, sophomore.
Okay. Are you an athlete?
Yes.
What sports?
Cross country, indoor, and outdoor track.
No.
Why not?
Because I don't think about them.
Yeah.
To a couple basketball games, softball, baseball.
Basketball, softball, sometimes lacrosse.
Okay, what gets you to go to these games?
Knowing people on teams.
Yes. Basketball games, lacrosse games, softball games, volleyball.
Yeah.
Basketball games are just fun to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been to your softball and volleyball games.
I have a lot of friends on my floor, and then my friends on the team too, so pretty diverse group of people.
Probably about 75% of my friends are athletes.
Athletes.
Okay.
All over the place. Athletes from like my team and stuff, and non-athletes.
Okay.
Every day.
Nice.
Almost every day, not quite.
I go an hour, 3 hours a week to go work out in the gym.
Yeah, I'm part of Let's Talk. I'm heading up the advocacy programs for that, and I'm also going to be an RA next year, so I'm working in with some of the residence life stuff right now.
Cool.
Other than leadership position for resident advisor, nothing else. Not all the clubs or groups.
No.
Only as much as time goes. Athletes don't spend as much time in lane because they're always in Bennett, but I think all the athletes still have their friends elsewhere, and we get around, but not really in groups. So.
Yes.
In what ways?
If people aren't really athletes, they don't really know much about the athletics department or anything like that, I would say.
Professors come to your games?
No.
Do professors know who your coach is?
No.
Do they know any coaches?
Maybe.
Does he know what classes you're taking and,
Mm-hmm.
and your major and everything?
Yep.
Maybe more publicity of athletics with the rest of the campus. Because right now what we have is the website, basically. Finding more ways to get people involved in coming to games and making it more of a community event. I don't think there's really a way to get athletes more involved in the rest of the campus. Because we have to be a part of the rest of the campus anyway. You know? But maybe a little bit more publicity.
Really, the student body should always be informed. Not necessarily being very public about it, but having the athletes themselves try to spread the word, and then just trying to be real enthused about it and just fun. And I feel like they could be a great outcome.
Having, like, I guess our teachers and professors know more, like, when we're gonna be there, when our games are, and also like when our practices are, so their classes don't conflict with our times. So you can't take like a certain amount of classes and just like skip others because we can't cut them. And like, yeah, like advertising too, more games and work.
As a Division I school, Boston College is devoted to quality academics as well as competitive athletics. To connect the two aspects, they have created the learning resources for student athletes. The LRSA provides services such as academic counselors to each varsity team, who are the primary contact for student athletes in need of academic assistance. These counselors help with academic planning and monitor the student athletes' progress towards their goals. BC has traditionally held a high student-athlete graduation rate. Student-athlete graduation data released in 2006 ranked BC in the top 5 of all Division I schools with a rate of 83%.
I'm Ruth Rosentrader, and I coach volleyball here. The Division III level, there's definitely an emphasis on being a well-rounded person, not just an athlete, and I like that about the Division III level. And I was just telling somebody yesterday, I don't think I'd ever want to coach Division I, just because I feel like at that level you pretty much have to be doing volleyball as your whole life. And I like that at Division III and at Gordon, athletics is part of your entire education. So I definitely want my athletes to be focused. Now I have girls who are most focused on something other than volleyball, which in a way is good. It's hard to build a good team long term if that's the only type of athletes you have. Like, I think you need someone who's possibly a little bit more concerned with their athletic experience than maybe some of my athletes are right now, but at the same time, like I said, I think it's valuable to have the well-rounded perspective. So I'd say for the most part right now, I have girls who are primarily interested in their academics or even the social aspect of being at Gordon than in volleyball.
Do you know of
Honestly, not at all. And I told the other group this too, and I think it's due to a few factors. One is that my girls in general get pretty good grades, so I haven't really had to worry about it. I haven't had to, we get an eligibility report, and I can't remember the name of the person that comes from, but anyway, we fill out a form with everyone that's on our roster, hand it in, and they give us an eligibility report that tells all of their grades and whether they're eligible or not. So, but even with that, I don't communicate with their professors, and that I get the report and I look at it and I know who's eligible. I have meetings with them in the fall during the season. We meet every couple weeks, but it's not necessarily just an academic meeting. It's sort of, let's talk about what's going on in your life, and I always ask them how classes are going, but I don't necessarily try to get specific information from them about grades, and that may be something I have to do more of in the future. I have only needed to talk to a professor once, and that was about a Spanish class that a couple of my girls were in, and there was just a little problem with the understanding of missing classes for games, but it turned out that they had skipped one or two other classes besides the ones that were excused, so there really wasn't there wasn't really anything I could do about it. So it was kind of their own fault, and like there was a misunderstanding, but I couldn't really vouch for them because they hadn't done what they were supposed to do. So but that's really the only issue I've had. Like I said, my girls are pretty good about their grades up front from the beginning of this season, so I think most of the coaches here do this, but I give my girls a sheet that has a letter on the front that just describes, the program and what we're trying to accomplish, and then has the schedule on the back and leave times for all of our games. So they just can give that to their professors, and it'll say, then they can highlight the ones that they're gonna have to skip class. So I think the biggest part is just being proactive and being proactive with communication at the very beginning, and I think that professors are pretty willing to work around that. I think if you wait until the day of and you email them and say, well, I can't come to class today, that's not going to go over well. But if it's from the very beginning of the season, I haven't had professors really have a problem with it yet.